What would be the offspring of a vixen and a rooster? A foxy chick. Welcome to my YouTube channel and a new month of cover by videos. Thanks for stopping by. Comics for Thomas and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast are standing by. They're my co-hosts. I put links to their YouTube channels in the description for this video. So if you're not subbed to their channels, I hope that once this video wraps up, you'll head over there and support their content. This week in Cover By, it's DC Comics time, and we're going to look at Truth and Justice, Volume 1, Issue number 1. These are the two covers. As you can see, it spotlights what I think is one of the most underappreciated and underused characters in DC Comics, Vixen. This comic book came out in early 2021. One of these covers is going to win, and the other we're going to say bye to. Have you made up your mind already which one you think is going to win? See if you agree with the panel. But before we start picking, we need to get some first thought comments on these issues, and let's get started with those. Here's Comics for Thomas.
So we are taking a look at Truth and Justice Volume 1, Number 1. I'm not a huge fan of this cover. I don't really like the way, there's something about the way her face is drawn. I get it, I guess, because we're looking down and looking up, it makes sense, but I don't know. There's something about it. I do like how the way they, got the light coming down on her face, because obviously the sun is coming from a certain way. I do like the character that's kind of going around like this. Obviously it's her, but I like that there's like an animal behind each, especially the part with the wings. That's cool, but not a cover that I would even take a second look at. So now for cover B, I do like this cover. I think they did a really good job with the panther kind of silhouette picture in the background. I like the shadowing as well, and it's just a better color scheme, I think, than the first one. Not that I didn't like the blue, I guess, in cover A, but I don't know. This one stands out to me more. Still not necessarily a cover that I would pick up, but I would probably stop and take a look at this and be like, oh, I like that panther in the background.
Thanks, Thomas. Truth and Justice Volume 1, Issue number 1 is the book, and this is Cookie now from Just a Little Podcast with his first thought comments.
Oh, crap. Didn't even see it start to go and play. Well, now that it's playing, I will just, Truth and Justice, Volume 1, Issue 1. I have no idea about this comic. I've never heard it, never seen it in my entire life. But we have two covers, cover A and cover B, and only one of them is going to win. Which one will it be? Which one am I going to pick? Well, we have cover A. We have, I am assuming, Vixen against the gods. We have her taking shape, transforming herself from human form into a tiger, into a ostrich, and then into a swallow, some type of animal. And I really do love the transformation that we're getting on this cover. We have Vixen in the background looking very, very tough and rugged in her pose. I'm not really liking the detail on her face. I think that they could have done a better job with the detail, and also the background. I think the background just doesn't do it for this pose. And we have the white shining background, so it's definitely something that's like kind of like an awe, but I'm just not really caring for it too much, the background. But I do love the transformation. I think the transformation is wicked awesome. I really, really dig that, and how everything kind of flows together and everything kind of fits very well. I love the way that Truth and Justice is written out, with the T in Truth being the two balancing scales on each side. I think that's a really cool concept. I'm digging that a lot. And I like this. I like this. This is really cool. This might have been maybe a little bit better if it was a Virgin variant type of cover, but overall I'm liking it. I think it's cool. On to the B cover. B cover, we have another concept, very cool as well. You have her transformation, so it's a shadow of her being as a panther. I'm really digging this one as well. I like the detail on her body, her face, her smirk that she has. This like almost like a glimmer in her eye. I really think that it's a cool concept as well. Not really too enthusiastic about the 3D style that's going on because it just seems like they put a sticker on a background and called it a day. So I'm not really liking that. I wish there would have been a little bit more detail in how she's actually sitting on the floor. But overall, I do love the transformation as far as the Black Panther sitting in the background of her shadow and her. I think both these are very cool covers, very different covers at the same time. It's, if you can tell, you know which one I'm going to be leaning towards, but stay tuned.
Thanks for checking in with your comments, Cookie. So Truth and Justice was a title that I wasn't even aware of. How did I miss this? As I said, this came out in early 2021. So I became aware of this title this summer when I got my job and started putting together 221 Comics and More. This was a title that we had, and we had both the A and the B covers. And I was looking at this, and this is the first time since I was employed with 221 Comics that I saw a cover and I said, oh, this I think would be perfect for cover by. As I mentioned earlier, I like Vixen. I'm a Vixen fan. I think she's an underrated character. So I saw both of these covers and I was intrigued, didn't know anything about this series, so I picked up the books. I will say, even though it's a good thing that we're just judging the covers and not the books, because the read wasn't as good as I was hoping, but I was a fan of both covers. Specifically looking at the A cover right now. What I like about this is we see her transformation all around her main image. So we see her utilizing the powers of these different animals and going around, almost in that circle. Plus we have the big, large image too. I always think it's kind of cool sometimes when you see like a big main image and then smaller images circling around it. I've always kind of been drawn to that type of artwork and think that that's a neat look. I like the shadowing that we see in her face, and the light is portrayed very well. I think the coloring is done great. So instantly when I saw this cover, I was like, ooh, that's interesting. I'm like, wow. Now let's take a look at the B cover. So when I look at the B cover, I see this more as fierce. I mean, strong and fierce. I love the panther and how the panther has the strong, determined look, and the panther's looking you right in the eyes too. And I love how she's just kind of sitting there and she's like, yeah, I've got this. I know I have this. I'm not worried. And she's up against the brick wall, which is interesting. I don't know if you're supposed to feel like she's trapped up against the wall. I didn't really remember getting that feeling when I read the story. But still, if she is supposed to be trapped, she isn't trapped. She's got that panther power and she's ready to pounce. Once again, the shadowing is very good on this cover too. Coloring done very well too. I'm actually a fan of both of these covers. So I have something to think about. Luckily, I've been thinking about this since I first saw these covers way back in July. But before I make my pick for cover by, let's get some picks from our panel. Once again, here's Comics for Thomas.
So I'm going to go with cover B. To be honest, I wouldn't buy either one of these two. I haven't read or really even heard of this run itself, but nothing on these covers makes me want to find out more. So I'm basically picking the best of two that I don't like.
Thomas has one vote for cover B, although it feels like it's a vote under duress. Cookie from Just a Little Podcast, do you have a vote, and is it under duress?
All right, so I am going to pick cover B. I think cover B overall does it for me. While cover A has really good transformation, that's the only thing that's really kind of drawn me to it. Whereas in cover B, we have the shadowing on her body. We have the physique attributes. We see her face. Like I said, her face really does it for me. And also the panther in the background. While it's not perfect, it's definitely a step in the right direction when it comes to the cover itself. So overall, cover B is it for me.
2 votes in for cover B, so we know that's going to be the winner today. But is it the one that I'm going to pick? You know what? It is. I did like both covers. And the reason that I'm going with cover B is actually the detail on the face. I thought it looked a touch more feminine, a touch more refined than the A cover face looked. And that really was the deciding factor for me. It was just a little more fine-tuned. I did like and still do enjoy the A cover and appreciate that I actually had a few months to actually think about which choice I was going to make in this cover buy. I'm glad that I didn't have this just sprung upon me, kind of like Cookie and Thomas did. But cover B is the winner for me. Sorry, A cover. I like you, but bye. B is the winner. Is that the one for you, the one that you would have picked? Leave me a comment below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I hope that you'll do so and click the notification bell so you don't miss upcoming content on my channel, including the next cover buy in 2 weeks. It will be Marvel Comics time, and we got an oldie but a goodie, Spider-Man versus Wolverine. I know what you're thinking. How are you getting 2 different covers to choose from for that? We'll have all the explanation and the details and the picks in 2 weeks with our next cover buy video. So before I wrap up, I do want to thank everyone for their support and kind words and sharing and commenting and pre-ordering and ordering the comic book that I wrote. So on Tuesday, I was able to announce in a video that I wrote my first ever comic book, and it's a bio comic book on Loretta Lynn. It's done by Tidal Wave Productions. It's called Female Force Loretta Lynn. It's so ironic that Tuesday was the day that I was able to share the news, and the book came out this past Wednesday. With Loretta's passing on Tuesday. The book actually was written back in April. I started writing it on Loretta's 90th birthday, and it took a week for me to write and complete and then turn in so it could be illustrated. Now, the release date of October 5th had been set way back in April, and the reason that that release date was chosen is because, first of all, it was the first Wednesday release in October, which is Country Music Month. So that wanted to be celebrated. But on October 5th, 1970, that was the date that Decca Records released Coal Miner's Daughter, which of course was Loretta Lynn's signature song. So those 2 factors kind of contributed to the October 5th release. Who knew that that would be, the foreshadowing on that she would pass away 1 day before the book was released. She did know about the comic book, though. I hate that she wasn't able to actually flip through the pages and hold a copy herself. But it does bring me some comfort to know that she actually knew about the project and had very kind words to say about it and support for it. And I thank you for your support. And people have been reaching out saying, I ordered a copy. I can't believe you wrote one. And you guys never cease to let me down. Now, I'll be talking more about this comic book in the future as well. I did leave a link in the description to this video too, if you're interested in ordering it or just getting some more information. But it is being sold pretty much anywhere that you can get books online. You can find a copy of it. And there's some exclusive editions too. There's a foiled out version of the A cover on comicfleamarket.com. But like I said, I'll be talking more about that. I actually haven't received my physical copies yet. Now, I've seen all the work, of course. I've seen that for months and all the page breakdowns and stuff too, but I can't wait to actually hold one in my hands. I was hoping to have that for next Tuesday's comic book editions video, but I don't think that's going to happen. But as soon as it does, I'll be more than excited and to share that experience with you. So tune in for another comic book editions video on my channel next Tuesday. We'll see you on Cover By in 2 weeks. Until then, have a fantastic weekend and take care. Bye. What would be the offspring of a vixen and a rooster? A foxy chicken. Oh no, that's not right. Oops.